eventually, what's printed over here is going to become this over here. Maybe. Don't know. What do you think it is? Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for November the 28th, 2022, and it's vlog number 292. So, what have I been up to? Well, I keep saying that I'm finished with my Christmas decorations, or my Christmas gifts, and making them. Yeah, not really true. I decided to make a set of placemats and some napkins to go with them. I made these from scraps that were left over from other Christmas projects, and also I want to try out a new AccuQuilt die that I got called the Hunter Star. And so I ended up making these, and then I decided I'd make a set of not placemats, but napkins to go with it. And you can see them here with the 3D printed reindeer napkin rings. And I did some embroidering on them as well. Now, I'm done, I think. Except then I got thinking about my Christmas bags that I made, and well, I needed an embellishment for the bags. So I made these freestanding lace little Christmas tree ornaments are actually what they are. They have a little eye in the top, so I'm just going to put a piece of ribbon through them and attach them to the handles of the gift bags that I've made as well, just as an added little extra. I just keep making these things. I'm obsessed. I have to stop. And it doesn't help when friends start sending me links to embroidery sites that have on sale Christmas items. And I'm holding back on those because I am working on what they call the North Pole Christmas skirt, and I don't think I'm going to get it done before Christmas. I mean, this is the last few days of November. Come later this week, I will be decorating for Christmas, and yeah, it's just not going to get done for this year, but I'll persevere with it, and maybe I'll have it done for next year. So more about that little project anyways on the Idiot Quilter tomorrow. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. And let's see, YouTube channel of the week. This one talking about decorating and things like this. This is a guy called Nick Lewis. Stumbled upon him by accident. Usually this time of the year, I'm randomly going through YouTube and I'm looking at, Christmas decorating videos, things that give me ideas. A lot of them are over the top, as you probably well know. Like, you'd need to take out a second mortgage on your house to afford some of the decorations. You'd need staff. You really would. You'd need staff to put these things up. But nevertheless, I kind of like to watch them just to see how the rich people live. And this guy, Nick Lewis, I stumbled across him. He wasn't about Christmas. He was more about home decor, but where to buy things and what's on trend and stuff like that. And I'm not a great interior decorator, but I do like to see what other people are doing. And so I found this guy, and he's Canadian. So here's my review of that YouTube channel. This week's YouTube channel of the week is one I just stumbled upon recently, and it's called Nick Lewis Interior Design and Decor. And he is a Canadian, and he basically talks about interior design and decor. Now, I like watching these kind of programs to get ideas about what to do in my own home. Now, I'm not a big interior decorating kind of person, but I find sometimes there are some very creative ideas, especially ones that are seasonal, that is kind of, attract me. So let's take a look at what he has to offer. He starts off with what's new at IKEA, fall and holiday. And of course, if you love IKEA, and I do, then that's something that will attract you. My Amazon home must-haves. I haven't watched that one yet. Things that make your home look dated. I found really interesting because that's the one I stumbled upon first that took me to his site. Let's just take a look in his video list, or actually in his playlist, and see how he has these organized. subscriber home reviews. I'm not sure what that is. DIYs I don't hate. Impractical furniture and decor items. Trendy or timeless. Buy this, not that. Building your custom home. IKEA. Interior design, color and paint, etc. So he's got something about everything that has to do with interior design. Anyways, he's entertaining as he talks about these things. I'm not really sure what his background is. I'm assuming that he has an interior design background because he does sound like he's very knowledgeable. Now, I have to admit, some of his videos are a little bit annoying, and they might be just a little bit over the top. But you'll get what I mean if you watch some of his videos. So this is Nick Lewis, Interior Design and Decor. You will find the link for Nick Lewis in the show notes below. You're going to find a link for my reoccurring Zoom connection for what I call Sew and Craft with Me. I put that up, or I open it up actually on days when I'm sitting here sewing away by myself and I want company. Did one last week, had a connection there on Wednesday. You never know when these are going to happen. Sorry about that. They're just not a scheduled event. So, if you're sewing alone, crafting alone, you want company, click on that link. It's always the same one. And if I'm here, I'll let you in within about a minute. And you'll know if I'm not here, because if you don't get let in within 1 minute, then I'm not here. Also, there is a link to Stephen and Walter Live. And as usual, we went off on a tangent. There was some Stephen bashing happening. There was some love happening for Walter. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, go ahead and watch it. When I say Stephen bashing, it's all done in good fun. I know that. It gets a little annoying at times, but it's just in good fun. There's also a link to an interview that I put up last week. If you haven't seen that, that's Bags with Myrna. And there's a link to some of my other productions that happened last week as well. So that takes me to looking outside my window today. And it is a bit of a gray day, but it is November. There we go, looking through my Ring camera. And doesn't look much different from what I showed you last week. Well, what's the temperature? 0. It is 0 right now. But if I flip over and go to, oops, that's not where I want to flip over. Why don't I have, okay, I just give me a second here. I will find it. So according to the Weather Channel, this is what things are looking like for today in my area. We're at 0 degrees Celsius, and it looks like our high is going to be 2 degrees Celsius with a low of -3 tonight. Sunrise was at 7:26, and you can see here the progression of the day. So we're only going to go up 2 degrees more than what we're at right now at 7:35 in the morning. And today is partially sunny. Tomorrow looks cloudy. Wednesday has 90% chance of, looks like rain. Yuck. Thursday is going to be a bit windy. And then it's going to be cloudy, rainy, possibly snowy. That looks like it could be snow. They're saying rain. But who knows? And precipitation, what they say in the last 24 hours was kind of a wintry mix. Well, yeah, we had a bit of rain yesterday. I hate rain at this time of the year. I really do. But then again, what's the alternative, right? Snow. So anyways, that's what things are looking like right now on my street. Okay, so moving right along past the weather, let's take a look at what's next. I've lost my place. Okay. Oh yeah, what's pissing me off? Well, you've heard me complain about this before. There are several things that Canadians are famous for complaining about, probably people in general. 1, construction. 2, the weather. And 3, the state of our healthcare system. Now, before I get started, I know there's a lot of places in the world that have worse healthcare than we do. One of those places is the States. However, we are starting to become like the states, and that's thanks to our provincial government. Our provincial government sucks. They're idiots. They're stupid. They don't care about the people. All they care about is the almighty big buck. And they have started a crisis in the healthcare system. They blame it on every other thing out there. They blame it on COVID. They blame it on a shortage of doctors. They blame it on the fact that the federal government is not giving them enough money for the healthcare system. They play the blame game very, very well. But it's like a continuously running record, or the little boy who called wolf. That's all they do. They blame it on past governments. They will never stand up and do something about it. And why is that? Because healthcare is big business. We have the American model. We know that. And that is exactly the model that our provincial government is trying to follow. Now, I'll give you an example on a more personal level of what I'm talking about. We know that there are not enough doctors. There are not enough nurses. Everybody in the healthcare system, the frontline workers, are being overworked to the point where people are quitting. Yes, part of that is due to COVID, but more so. It's easy to blame COVID for everything because everybody does. But more importantly, the blame lies with our government. Our government has a surplus of money. They found it. Well, spend it, for God's sakes. Put it into healthcare. So, Walter was sick last week. He had a urinary tract infection. He was running a temperature of 102.5 at one point. He was full of chills. He even threw up several times. So, when someone's that sick, you want to get them off to a doctor, right? Or to a walk-in clinic or something like that. Or, in worst case scenario, emergency in our hospitals. Well, nobody wants to go to emergency right now because the emergencies you're in there for 4 to 5 hours before a doctor will even look at you, or longer. I've heard of people waiting to be admitted into the hospital up to 12 or 13 hours after they've gone in there. Again, all part of our broken healthcare system. However, Walter called his doctor. Now, there's the first thing. You can't go and see your family doctor anymore. You have to call them first. And they have a receptionist who is not a doctor, who makes the decision whether or not they should have the doctor call you back. Well, that was the case with Walter. The doctor did call him back 5 hours later. Yeah, real prompt service there, right? Let's not forget that still in this country, our doctors are paid by us, by our taxes. Okay? They work for us. We don't work for them. Get off the pot, you doctors. Yeah, I know your job is difficult, but you chose it. And you chose it. Why? Because you want to help people? Just like a politician. Yeah, I'm in politics because I want to help people. We know that's a bold-faced lie. And I'm sorry, if you're somebody that's a doctor or you have somebody that's in the doctoring profession, that's exactly the perception that many of us have of you. Okay? Sorry. Do something about it. You have power. Use your power. But I digress. So, his doctor finally phones him back. And this is what they said. Well, before I prescribe anything, and Walter's had this problem before, and she knows it, and usually she prescribes an antibiotic, right? She said, well, before I prescribe an antibiotic, I'd like you to have a urine test. Do you have a urine sample bottle? Okay, who keeps those on hand? No, we do not have a urine sample bottle. And she says, and then we can prescribe this. He says, I am too sick. He's in bed. He's got multiple layers of blankets on him. The guy is dying here, okay? Pretty much. And she wants him to go to a clinic and have a urine test, this kind of thing. Well, then she finally realized, ooh, maybe that won't work. Oh, hello, Einstein. Where did you get your medical degree? Crappy tire? So she says, okay, well, I'll phone your prescription into your pharmacist. So that was 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. So she calls it into them, supposedly. I went over to the pharmacy, it's not that far from where we live, to pick it up. Now, I didn't immediately go over. It was 20 to 5. She called it in at 4. 40 minutes later, I show up at the pharmacy, and I knew what was going to happen. I would be standing in line forever at the prescription pickup counter as they go and try to locate the drugs. This is how Shoppers Drug Mart works in their pharmacy. Completely broken system. They cannot find your prescription on a good day. This was not a good day. When I walked in there, there's people with small children who are hacking up a storm. They decided now would be a good time to get a flu shot for their kids. So, of course, in our country, you go to the local pharmacy to get a flu shot. Only one person at the Shoppers Drug Mart who is qualified to give you a shot, and that's the pharmacist, the big guy, the guy who looks after most of the orders, does the authorizations of them, all this kind of stuff. There's a lineup of parents with snotty-nosed kids, and they're just dripping germs everywhere. I've got my mask on. None of these kids have a mask on, okay? The parents, some of them had a mask, some didn't. There you are. You're just right in there into the germ pool. So I'm standing in the other line for picking up a prescription, and there's about 4 people ahead of me. Now, as I said, I know this is going to take forever because they can never find your prescription. They had this computerized system. They go to the computer, they type in your name or something like that, and they're looking for your prescription to see if it's been filled yet or not. Okay, they type in, forever. It's like they're writing a novel. They ask you what your name is several times, what your address is, your birth date, all this kind of stuff, okay? The only thing they don't ask you for is, to give them your firstborn child. And then they go to the drawer. Oh, the drawer. The dreaded prescription drawer, or I should say drawers. Supposedly, these drawers are designed to hold all these little bagged up prescriptions, and they have them clearly labeled with your name, and they're all in alphabetical order by your last name. And so they start going through. Then they get to the end and they stop and they stare. And then they come back. And they go to the next drawer. And they go through. Pick one up. Put it back. Go through. Stand. Stare. Then they go back up to the top drawer and do the same thing. It's like it's a little dance number, So then they disappear. I don't know where they go. They just disappear. And then they come back, check the computer again, and go back to the drawer. And eventually, they find it. Eventually. Now, there's an excellent system. Good organization, really. In a system that, has lots of drugs out there, and if they give you the wrong one, they could kill you. Ask me how I know. That's a story for another day. They can't find the stuff. Finally, when they do find it, then away you go. And then they do the whole same thing over again for the next person. So I knew I was going to be standing that line for a while. In fact, there was a guy came in and he was in the line behind me. He goes, "Is this the line for picking up a prescription?" I said, "Did you bring a lunch?" He kind of looked at me and says, "I want to show you something." He says, "I've never been here before." Oh, I said, "Well, you're in for a treat. I hope you have nothing else scheduled for today." I said, and I explained to him what I just explained to you was going to happen. And the guy's standing there and he's watching. And as I said it, I'm sure he thought I was exaggerating. I wasn't. And he looks and his eyes just go wide. And I said, "Told you, enjoy. There's only one good thing about being in this line right now. I'm ahead of you." So I get up there. Now, I've been in this line for a good 10, 15 minutes or so. Longer. It's moving on towards, 5 o'clock now. It's about 5 to 5. Remember, I got there at 20 to 5. The order was phoned in and looked after at 4 o'clock. So I'm up there. It's about 5 to 5. And I go through this whole thing. She does the little dance with the prescription drawers and the computer and the whole bit. Finally comes back to me. It is now 5 after 5. And says to me, "Oh, yeah, the pharmacist has to authorize that yet." and he's busy giving flu shots. And so what does that mean? So yeah, I should be able to, he should be able to get it to you authorized in about 15 minutes if you want to wait. Snot-nosed kids behind me hacking up a storm. Some people with masks, other people without, the whole bit. I'm not going home. It's now a mission. I am going to get that damn prescription no matter what. Hell or high water. I'm going to get that. I said, okay. So I looked at my watch and said, so if I come back, it's now about a quarter after 5, 5:15. If I come back and you're saying 15 minutes, about 5:30, I should be able to get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. And off I tootled. So I went back out into my car, and I knew it wouldn't be ready in 15 minutes because there's all these kids this guy is still giving the shots to. And it sounded like he was having a little discussion with each and every parent that went in there as well. Oh, yes, let's be social. You know, it's just jab, move on, jab, move on, jab, move on. But no, we have to have a friendly little conversation. So, y'all ready for Christmas? So I knew I would blow a gasket in that store, and I'd probably level it. So I went out to my car and watched a couple of YouTube videos on my phone. At 5:45, I gave it a half an hour. I doubled the time that she told me. I knew it still wasn't going to be ready, but I thought, what the hell? I live to dream. So at 5:45, I walked back in to the pharmacy. The pharmacist is still giving flu shots to snotty-nosed little bastards, buggers, kids, whatever. And there's a line up for pickup. Now, I had said to the girl, do I have to stand in the line again when I come back? Oh, no, you can just go over here to the side counter. Yeah, no, I know that I've heard that trick before. You can stand there and they see right through you. They don't stop. I've been to the side counter before, and I just figured not even going to bother. I'll just stand in this line and wait. And I did. The little dance number is still going on, except now they've changed the girl. There's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel, because the next person that's in there that's looking after things, the other one must have been off on her break or was done for the day, is my favorite. She's the only one in that pharmacy that seems to know what she's doing. And she has this incredible ability to remember my name and know who I am, whether I'm wearing a mask or not. I love her. She is great. So I stand in line and I wait. I went in at 5:45. It is now, although mind you, she's really great, but she still has to do the little dance number as well with the prescription drawers. So I finally get up to the counter. It is now about 5:50, something like that. And she gives me this look. And it's this look of, I know how you feel, and I feel for you. And she says, I'm sorry. I have to wait for the pharmacist to authorize it. I said, yeah, heard that before. And she says, he's still in there. And she's got this look on her face like, oh my God, he's still in there giving flu shots. And my job isn't getting any easier because of it, because I have to handle all the people that are bitching at me, waiting for him to authorize something. I felt for her. I did. I said, yep, okay. Well, she says, I'll try to, get in there and get him doing that. And I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate your effort. I'll just go over there in the corner away from all these little snot drippers, and I'll wait. So I did. I went over to a far side, still within eye shot of her. So she knew I hadn't gone anywhere. I was still there. And, in the meantime, she says, I can text you when it's ready. And I said, well, yeah, but it's under Walter's name, so I don't have his phone. It's my phone. I said, can you put in my number for that? She says, no. She says, I can't. I can't change that. And then she says, oh, I can't text you anyways because his number is blocked. I said, his number's blocked? See, here in our pharmacy, when a prescription is ready, they will text us, which is one feature I really like, except it doesn't eliminate the little prescription drawer dance. You still have to go through all that hell, but for a moment when you get that text message, you think the world is right and everything is organized. Anyway, she says it's blocked. I said, well, that's really weird. But I said, okay, well, anyways, I'll just be standing over there in the corner. You'll know me. I'm the person with the big bottle of Lysol, spraying myself in here constantly. So there I stood. 15 minutes later. It's now 5 after 6. Remember, the prescription was called in by the doctor directly at 4 p.m. I have now been there since 20 to 5. It is now 5 after 10 after 6. Finally, the pharmacist emerges. He goes over to his computer and does the computer dance. I don't know what they go through on a computer screen because you can't see it. But again, he's just rattling away like he's writing a novel. And then finally she calls me over. And you see the look of relief on her face and on mine. And she's so apologetic. She is so nice. I don't know her name. I should learn it. I should give her a Christmas present because she is always, always nice. And I don't know how she manages to keep her patience with people because I'm not the only one that goes through this. Okay? I'm not that special. Anyway, she says, I'm so sorry about this. But she says, he's the only one that can give the shot. I said, yeah, I know. Really, they need to have somebody, especially this time of the year, that's dedicated, that's trained, and that's all they do is give the shots. She says, I know. She says, the government allots us a person to come in twice a week for a couple of hours for that. And I said, that's ridiculous. So this puts me back again to our government, who are breaking our system. Yep. So what am I pissed off at? So finally at about 20 after 6, I get the drugs to Walter. Okay. So yeah, great system, broken, government's fault. And it pisses me off. The bottom line is this. In our province right now, do not get sick. I didn't even talk about the fact that there's a lack of children's medication for colds, flu, that kind of stuff. There was a shortage. Apparently our government, though, is telling us, no, we're getting more in. We're getting more in. It's coming by the slow boat from China, but we're getting more in. Yeah. They're killing us. But literally, our healthcare system is a death warrant. So, yeah, don't get sick. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. I don't hope our government has. I hope they get sick and die. I said it, and I mean it. Yeah, really? Yeah, well, it won't be hard because if they try to go to emergency, but they can probably afford private health care. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. Spent too long on that topic, but I was really pissed off. All right. Let's go then to our grow lights. These little suckers are working. It's incredible. So here, I'll show you our crop right now. Let me switch the camera over. Here we go. Look at that. There's basil and chives and I don't know what other things. I think there's oregano in there and everything, but they're coming along really nice. The basil's really sprouting up. And over on the far side, the far right, that's lettuce. Yes, that's lettuce. Now, the grow lights, you can raise them up as things get taller. And so, yeah, but I'm really, really impressed by this. Plus, it's just so pretty to look at because, it brings a little bit of the summer back into the house kind of a thing. So, yeah, so I'll keep you informed as to how things are growing. 3D corner. Well, I'm still working on my chessboard for the gnome set. Nothing to show you yet. I am determined that I am going to make this. I don't know why, because it's just going to sit and gather dust when I get it done. But it's now a challenge. So, and I don't even play chess. But it's all those gnome pieces. But now I'm making the chessboard, and it's made up of 2-inch square cubes. 2 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch high. And they take about 2.5 days to print 9 of them. I need 64 for the size of a chessboard for the, in black and in white. I'm getting there, but yep, now it is a challenge. Now, I bought a new toy for my 3D printers. It hasn't arrived yet. I hope this works. Cost me about $60 on Amazon. It is an E-leveler, they call it. Now, for those of you that have 3D printers or are interested, you know that the leveling of a printer bed is not easy. You usually stick a little post-it note underneath the nozzle, and you have these little screw things underneath that raise or lower the bed, and you got it. It's a hit and miss. It's a very frustrating part about 3D printing, possibly the most frustrating thing about 3D printing. And you have to do a lot of leveling, almost after every print you do to get things right. Because if you're not leveled, the thing you're printing does not print right. So there's this little device. It's an E-leveler. It's essentially what it is. It's a little pressure pad that you fit underneath your nozzle tip, and there's a little LED light on it, and you lower your nozzle down so it just touches this, and when it does, the LED light goes on, and then you move it to the next different spots, and this is supposed to work very effectively. I read some reviews about it. Most people seem to think it was worth it, so I took the plunge. It's an expensive little device to see if this will work better than what I've been doing since I got my 3D printers, using a little sticky note method. So I'll tell you more about that and maybe do a little video showing you how this little sucker works when I get it. It's supposed to arrive anywhere between December the 2nd and December the 7th. So we'll see. Okay, so that takes me to our last day in Perth, Australia, February the 28th, 2018. And this is the last part of that segment.
More of the botanical gardens, King's Park. We were here the other day with Steve and Deborah, and I took a picture of that before, but now we're seeing it from a little different perspective because we have a little bit better idea of where we were. When we were with them, we weren't really sure. We were just going along with the ride. But here we've walked up to this part so far. It's a very nice garden. Well, it's not just a garden, it's a park. It's a huge park. But, oh yeah, and here we go. I raised my camera and look what I got in the picture. Yeah, there wasn't anybody around for a while, and suddenly they materialized. Yeah, I know. So go down that way. Oh wait, you're taking a picture. Oh, it's not that mustache. Absolutely. I've seen that before. So this is all part of the botanical garden, and we're going to go down and walk through it. It's down there a little further. Let's see what we see. And so we are entering the Western Australia Botanic Garden. Botanical Garden. Botanic, not botanical, botanic garden. It's kind of interesting entranceway to it. There's those lovely birds in the background. I won't miss those when we leave here. They're noisy creatures. And look at the strange things you find in gardens. Ooh, that's crazy. Take a look at yours. No, I don't have to. That's why I'm on this side of the camera. And I am absolutely beautiful today, wearing my hat for the first time, which isn't my hat, it's Walter's hat. But I think I've gotten too singed too many times here, and I think I should be careful about that. Considering I have heard that Australia has a hole in the ozone layer. And I really don't want to come home with skin cancer. Coming home though with a pretty red face.
Sunburnt country.
Yeah. Oh, well, how appropriate. Sunburnt country. Okay, so how do I reverse this camera shot? Well, I guess you can't when you're doing it. What's that button do?
No, that's something else.
I don't know what that button does. Doesn't do anything. Okay, there we are. We look like the... Oh, my hand's over the lens. Okay, sorry. Here we go. We look like the Bobbsey twins here with our hats and the whole bit. Yeah. Old man in the park. Last time you're going to see that. Somewhere up here is the Wildflower Pavilion. Follow the bird. This is our personal guide to the gardens right here. The bird. Hello, bird. Pretty used to people. Follow the bird. Oh, there he goes. In the distance, there sounds like there might be a fountain. And there is. We were on this the other day, too, but apparently this used to be a glass bridge, but I guess they had some problems with it, so it's no longer glass. So the signs still tell you that you're walking towards the glass bridge. The only reason we know that it's not anymore before we saw it is because that's what Deborah and Steve told us. And I guess there's some holes in up at the top where you can sort of look through, but I don't know what happened.
Oh, he said the glass started cracking.
Oh. Oh, no doubt due to their severe cold climate in the wintertime, we make the glass crack. Yaha! Just picture this all in glass, because I'll bet you that was something when it was. Kind of takes away from it now. Although you have the glass sides and you can see out over towards. Now that is Fremantle over there, right? What? It's way down there? Okay. It's somewhere. We were there. Check out the video. You'll see what I mean.
That's where the two bridges are.
The two bridges. Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think it's more. I think Fremantle's even further down.
Oh, all right.
Because we passed all the luxury places.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, it's down there somewhere. So, this is what we just came across, and you can look way down. So, it's a bit of a ways. Now, this is what a fern really looks like, but in our country, they're tiny little things. And they have things that are seed pods, and they're called fiddleheads. And they're usually kind of small, and you can buy them in the grocery store at certain times of the year frozen, and you can cook them up in butter. I've never really eaten one, but they're supposed to be quite tasty, but those are huge. Fiddleheads, those round things in there, and down there. That's a big fiddlehead. One of those will feed a family of 4. These are interesting, whatever they are.
There's those ones I think were at the side of the road.
Oh, is that the ones he's telling us look like upside down ice cream cones?
Yeah.
They don't look like upside down ice cream cones to me, but so what do they call them? Wheat bell?
I don't know. Maybe that's not one, but I thought that's what one was. Oh my goodness.
Penis plants. Little water garden. Waterfall. Really tranquil. We were down by this too the other day.
Yeah.
So they've got a health and safety.
It's pretty cool.
So it's, you know, obviously, however, sorry.
It's okay. Well, that's it for Perth. We're back out of Kings Park, had another beer, and now Walter's here looking at his phone, and we have to reorganize our suitcases and get everything ready for our flight tomorrow that goes out at like, was it 9:20?
9:20 a.m.
But-
So we have to get there early.
But we have to leave here about 6. Joy o' bliss. On our way to the last part of our Australian adventure and off to Sydney. So the place that started it all a year ago for us.
So we'll see how it looks. We'll see how it looks to us the second time around.
Yeah, second time around. Anyways, feeling a little tired right now. We walked about 10 kilometers. We've walked further. So anyways, and we're going to eat up whatever's left over in the fridge because none of that can go with us. Ooh, we have booze to drink. Anyways, so enough for today. See you in Sydney. Bye-bye.
So events of the past week, well, Walter was sick. I already talked about that. And so you know all about that. And let's see, I did do a sew/craft with me session. I had a couple of people join in. That was fun. And of course, we did pop-up sew day on Saturday. And that was a lot of fun. I think people are getting really used to the idea of a pop-up sew day. And they're not shy anymore, because there was lots of chatter, and that's good. I thought that was excellent. There was even some people playing some little hijinks on me as well. Note to self, don't ever let somebody else have co-host responsibilities. But it was all done in good fun, and we had a good time. And I got some things done, and other people did too. So yes, we will have another pop-up sew day sometime soon. I don't know when. That's why they're called pop-up, because I never know when they're going to happen. But that's coming up. And what is coming up is, well, a craft and chat day. First Wednesday of every month. So the first Wednesday will be December the 7th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And there is a link already for that event in the show notes. And there will be this week in all of my video productions. And again, next week as well. And for those of you that are on my mailing list for Craft and Chat, you will get that link sent to you direct to your inbox at the end of this week, tail end of this week. I will send it. So, yeah. And another thing I'm thinking of having, well, I'm not thinking, I am going to have it. I am going to have a sew day on New Year's Day. I've done a bit of an informal survey with people on Stephen and Walter Live and those that showed up on the pop-up sew day. And many of those people said that, yes, they would be interested in having a sew day on New Year's Day. New Year's Day, I don't know about you, but for us is sort of blah. Nothing's open. It's the aftermath of the Christmas hullabaloo. You know, in fact, it's kind of a depressing day, I find, because suddenly the excitement, the anticipation of Christmas and New Year's Eve and all that stuff, that's all done, and you suddenly go, whoom. So let's start off the year with a blast. Let's have a fun sew day. So that's what I thought I would do. So I am. And yeah, more about that coming up during the month. Okay, and there'll be the link for that and everything else later on in December and all that kind of thing. And what else is coming up this week? Well, Christmas decorating. Yes. You probably have your Christmas decorations up already. I do not put up my Christmas decorations until December the 1st. I refuse to decorate until it's December. But it's a big job because first of all, I have to go into the Black Hole of Calcutta, which is our crawl space, get everything lugged out, and there are boxes and boxes. And then what I have to do is I set up folding tables and I lay everything out on the tables because my memory is short. I don't remember what I had from last year, or where I put it all. So I lay it all out in the tables and then I go from there. It is an all-day project, I can tell you that. Do I look forward to it? Well, yes and no. I like it when it's done. You know, brightens up the house the whole bit. I wish I had staff like these interior decorators that have YouTube channels showing over the top Christmas decorating. I wish I had staff too. And just sit there in a chair with a, a smart cocktail and point, yeah, that over there. That over there. Yeah, I hang that up there. Yeah, but I don't. I'm it. Now you're going to say, well, what about Walter? Isn't he staff? No, he is not staff. Not even close. No, Walter will be in bed while I'm doing this because I'll start it at about 7 o'clock in the morning this coming Thursday because that's December the 1st. And just as he gets up, I will be pretty much finished. And I go, oh, it's just like the little elf fairies or something flew in and did all the decorating in the night. Yeah, it doesn't happen. And then he'll start feeling guilty and decide to go outside and put up the Christmas decorations outside. Of course, it'll probably be the coldest day of the year when he does it. It always is. So that's how we work with Christmas decorating. So yeah, and I will do some little video clips showing what things look like this year when I get it all done. So that's it for me today. This was probably a long one. I don't know. Feels long to me. Probably feels even longer for you. And yeah, so tune in tomorrow for the Idiot Quilter. And have a good week. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.